Welcome to this new video about the Crew Motorfest, where we'll discuss this week's new features. It's not something I usually do in videos, but this week is pretty unusual for the game. In fact, it's April 1st this week, and to celebrate, the developers added a little April Fool's joke to the game. A little prank, call it whatever you want. I found it pretty original for an April Fool's joke in a racing game. That's why I'm making this video for you today. So, what did the developers do for April Fool's Day? They did a small collaboration with the YouTuber MrCarSound. He's a YouTuber followed by 2 million people who specializes on YouTube in videos where he recreates car sounds, but with his mouth. It's pretty impressive, it's quite realistic. Honestly, the sound isn't very close to the real sound of the Alpha GP, which we can already play, usually. The only time you can really tell it's a sound made with the mouth, and even then, honestly, it's really subtle. It's when you're almost at a standstill, when the engine isn't running fast. You can hear, the little mouth noises in the background. And actually, from time to time, there are also backfires or noises, a bit of an explosion. And here, can we also tell that these are noises made with the mouth? Because actually, the noise made by MrCarSound. On the cars we're going to test today, it's not just limited to the sound of the exhaust, to the sound of the engine. There are also turbo sounds, sounds from some other parts of the car, and it's actually pretty fun. It's true that with the Alpha GP you might wonder if it's a real sound or not. And it's actually a sound made with the mouth, but it's pretty impressive. So now, I'm going to let you listen to the sound that was made for the Audi Drally. But first, I'll show you a bit of gameplay with the regular Audi Drally. That way, you'll hear the difference in sound on this one better. It might be a bit more noticeable, especially because the tone of the sound is much higher on the version made with the mouth. So this is the real version, let's put it that way. This is the sound of the original Audi Drally from Motorfest, which has always been in the game. Here's the special version. It's already much higher pitched, as you'll hear, and especially when you let off the throttle and the turbo spools. Here, you can kind of tell it's being done with the mouth though. Even though it's really well done. Once again, the turbo, you can still hear it, you can tell it's homemade. It's pretty funny, and for the rest of the sound it's the same. Actually, I think it's pretty realistic because, first of all, he's really good at making sounds with his mouth, and on top of that there are different effects, equalizers, things to make the sound distort at high revs. Right away, there are a bunch of little post-production tricks behind it that honestly make it sound like a real engine sound without any problem. And finally, he'll have the sound of the Beetle. It's the same, you have to listen to the original sound first. Which is a completely traditional sound. We've had it in the Crew for a few years now, and now we're going to listen to the homemade version. And I think this is the one where it's the most obvious. You can really hear the difference, especially during deceleration. The little turbo sound that's made with the mouth. I think this one is the most obvious, but again, it's still pretty impressive. It's pretty well done, honestly, very clearly. Here, you can hear it a little bit, especially since this stock version of the car doesn't have a turbo in the game, so, well, I don't know if it's the turbo or if it's an intake noise or something else, no idea. You can also hear more in this car. So yeah, it's a little something a bit original for April Fools. It's not the very first time we've seen this kind of thing in a racing game. Remember, Rocket League. For those who played it, it's not exactly a racing game, but you still compete. There was already a partnership on, I can't remember which car, with a YouTuber who specialized in car sounds. And it was more obvious than it is here. Here, actually, it was really tweaked quite a bit. I think in post-production, with effects and everything, to get an audio, to get more realistic sound. Whereas in Rocket League, they really left the usual mouth noises. There, you can really hear the breath noises. Wait, I'll be quiet, I'll let you listen to this. It's actually pretty funny. It's pretty funny. We've seen this before in video game history, but I think it's cool. Is this for April Fools? I can't think of anything else you could do for a racing game on April Fools. That isn't too, let's say, aggressive toward the community and also doesn't require too much work. So, I have to admit that I find it pretty fun. But it's not the only new thing this week. Let's say there are also some more serious things that have been added to the game. Especially for those who have the Season Pass, because if you have it, you can get it starting this week. Wait while I go show you that. For free. The Porsche 935. If I'm not mistaken, wait, hold on, I'll show you that. It should be in racing, I guess, so... There, Porsche brand. I'll briefly show some gameplay, though that's not the video's main focus. The Porsche 935 from 2019, which is still a stunning race car, and in my opinion, it should also be pretty capable. Since in real life, it's a rocket. Indeed, as I was saying, this car is free for those who have the Season Pass for Year 3, directly added to your garage starting April 1st. And for the others, those who don't have the Season Pass, you'll have to wait until next week, April 8th, to buy it in-game at the dealership. I'm not sure how much it'll cost in racing, since racing cars aren't the cheapest. It grips really well. It's really, really boosted, in my opinion. I think this one isn't going to be a bad car. By the way, they've changed the whole meta recently. A good part of the game's meta has changed, in quite a few categories. I should do a little update on that, about the best cars in each category, but it's changed quite a bit, with various balance changes. It's nice because for years Motorfest had pretty much the same meta, almost the same as the Crew 2. It's cool to have a bit of change, and actually, maybe the upgraded Porsche could become meta. In the meantime, there you go. April 1st, it's free for those who have the Season Pass. April 8th, it's paid for those who don't. It's paid with in-game money, not euros. And will we be able to customize it a little bit? Yeah, as usual, you can put rims on it, change the color of the calipers, and that's pretty much it. For this car, that's pretty normal. Since it's often like that with race cars in the game, cars that are actually in the racing category, so fully upgraded, the car still puts out 1,000 horsepower. It's maxed out on speed in racing, almost maxed out on braking, and maxed out on acceleration too. Well, almost. And for handling, it's pretty good, so these stats seem to be quite nice. We're going to test it on Kiss Me Combi. Let's see what time we can get with the Porsche. Let's see if we do well. If we get a really good time or if it's a car that's a bit forgettable. I think it's going to be a good car. For the simple reason that, generally, with the game's physics, the Porsches in this Motorfest perform really, really, really well. And here, it's true that it seems to have some seriously impressive grip. Let's not kid ourselves. Like here, honestly, I could go through without braking. Actually, if the Mercedes hadn't braked, like right on my bumper, I think we could have made it almost without braking. That's some insane downforce. Well, it's pretty OP. I find it very easy to drive. Is it super fast? I don't know, but it's really super easy to handle. And that's already a good thing. The interior is cool, it's true. I hadn't shown the interior. I'm not really a fan of race car interiors in general. It's not really my thing. It feels very different from the original cars, which makes sense since these aren't the originals. And it's true that this one, with the small steering wheel, with the Porsche logo and everything, in the end, it's not that far from a proper GT3 car. Actually, it's really, really cool to drive. Honestly, I think this one is going to be a little rocket, a little firecracker. With the right settings for the right events, I think some people are going to set good times without any problem. Oh yeah, it's insanely OP. It's really cool. Even the top speed is good. The only thing where it might not be that great is the acceleration, where there are better options. Very clearly, in this category, in racing, there are things that are much more competitive. But that's offset by other factors. A 38. Well, honestly, I haven't seen one in the top 150 yet. But since the car just arrived in the game as I'm making the video, that's probably normal. It might take some time for tuners to develop good setups, and they have to compete against lap times that were set with ultra-tuned, ultra-meta cars. But it's true that right now, I don't see any, but it still seems pretty OP to me. And I think it's overall a good car. But we'll have to see how much it costs at the dealerships because When you get it for free, you obviously don't think about it as much. So, there you go. That was April 1st on the Crew Motorfest, a new little Porsche, and then 3 new cars. Well, 3 new cars, no. 3 new car sounds made with my mouth, so yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, feel free to leave a like on this video, subscribe for new content, and follow me on Twitch for upcoming live streams. I'll be live tonight, so follow and use Prime to support my channel. Remember to use my instant gaming link in the video to save on games and support my channel. See you soon in a new video. Bye.